Hey, 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 welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Right now, I'm going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. We are in your season at this point, and Mercury is about to go retrograde. I just had an amazing talk with Alex from Unified Astrology, and he really helped us to understand what it is we're going to be experiencing or potentially experiencing, as well as, how each sign should be faring for, the first half of 2020. So right now, let's focus on Scorpio and what you're going to be needing to release. So as we talked about in the other live stream, Saturn, the Lord of Karma, has kind of dropped a few packages off at our door. And we're needing to unwrap those packages and figure out what it is we need to do at this point. The year is going to be screeching to a halt very soon, and a new year starting. And a lot of the things that we haven't addressed over the course of the year is needing to be looked at now. A lot of energies are very, very intense. Take a look at your news feeds on other social media platforms. Look at the intensity of people's posts, the emotions that are being purged. That's a lot of Scorpio depth that's going on. Let's get you guys a couple more cards. So I asked the Scorpio collective energy what this reading is going to be about. And what I'm told is it's time to release. Again, with the planetary alignments, with the type of journey the celestial bodies have taken, they've really set up most of us to begin the process of digesting events and emotions from our life. Scorpio, you guys can get very, very deep, and a lot of things are rising up from that depth. Let's see what's going on. Card number 28, collaborative dreaming. So Scorpio, your energy, your collective energy is helping to awaken the collective whole. We're no longer, it's no longer enough for us to just be in this sleepy state that we've been in for quite a long time. We're needing to really wake up, okay? And I don't just mean in a spiritual sense. I mean energetically as well. There's a lot of changes that need to be made within society, and Scorpio, your depth is really being used to help everyone, and you guys are going to be more sensitive to this, but it's really being used to help everyone rise up in their inner under and overstanding of their self and their journey. So Scorpio, the collaborative dreaming, you guys are basically trailblazing through the trenches, okay? With that, it would not be a surprise if you're struggling with the weight of your emotions, the heaviness, the heavy feeling. A lot of this has to do with the ways in which that Scorpio collective energy is helping with the ascension process of everything on this earth plane. Now, Scorpio, card number 9, potential. As much as you would like to have these little details about yourself continue to be, kept secret and locked away, it's just, you can't hide the gravity of who and what you are anymore. Okay, Scorpio, there's going to be a lot of things that are rising to the surface for you personally. And again, this is a general reading. So this is for the Scorpio energy, the collective energy, not for a particular person. But your potentiality is rising as you've collected all of this really, really intense life lesson at the bottom of the trenches. As you rise up, those lessons are rising up for everyone else as well. So you're really trailblazing this portion of our collective ascension, okay? Your potentiality is rising. As a thank you from creation, your ability to tap into potentiality is going to be heightened over the next few weeks, especially with a Mercury retrograde coming up. A lot of things that were hidden in shadow and all of that, they're rising to the surface. This is the perfect time for you, as a part of that Scorpio collective energy, to really take some time to quiet your thoughts and just allow yourself to be fully present in the things that are coming forward on your path. Okay. Card number 21, Tiny Triumphs. Scorpio, you're getting messages from soul. That's what this crow is representing. A lot of messages are coming through. You're needing to stop trying to continue to be the little mouse that, doesn't want to be recognized, doesn't want to be acknowledged, just kind of wants to observe everyone. No more. Okay. You have to celebrate even your tiny triumphs. It's not, um, it's no longer appropriate for you to try and hide these things that you're accomplishing, try and hide the most beautiful parts of you. Okay. I know Scorpio doesn't really like to share too much of the nitty gritty of what goes on. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be a confessional. Okay. You don't have to confess anything to humanity, but you do have to allow people to witness your rise. Okay. The people who are around you, the people in your environment, they're part of your environment because you're there to gift them with an even deeper understanding in a way that only a Scorpio really can. Okay. And this is going to be something very subtle. This is something they're just going to observe and witness, and you're going to allow them. And it's important you begin readying yourself mentally and emotionally to allow people just a little bit further into your world. That's a very uncomfortable thing for a Scorpio to do, for just a general move, but you're kind of needing to, not all the way deep down into your trenches, of course. We're not, again, it's not a confessional type thing, but you do have to allow some people who are in your environment right now access to a little bit more of your process, a little bit more of your journey. It's time for you to begin letting go, releasing your fear of how people will receive your process, witnessing your process. Card number 29, seeing the true you. People are needing to see the true you. I've said this in quite a few of your readings in the past. You have to stop trying to live up to the hype of a stereotype. A lot of Scorpios that I know, that I've observed, it's almost like you feel obligated to live up to the hype of being Scorpio. Isn't that kind of the opposite of what you are? You're a mystery. You don't have to live up to any hype. You can be whatever the heck you want. You're a Scorpio. No one tells a Scorpio what to do. And so now it's time for you to stop trying to tell yourself what to do and just exist in a natural state of being. Release, release, release. That is the major theme of your journey all the way up to 2020, okay, with the start of the new year. It's time to release. Release your expectations of yourself. Release the expectations that you are carrying from other people. Now is the time for you to allow parts from your authenticity to rise up from your trenches, those really deep, deep parts of yourself. There are people within your circle, within your environment, that are needing to witness this rise, okay? Card number 52, Yuki Ona, stillness. So there will be people, individuals, who take a look at your journey and they see stillness, so they think there's nothing there. There's nothing behind the flatness of the water. It's in that stillness that people are able to see their reflection. Okay. When water is very, very still, the surface begins to allow people to notice the reflective qualities. And that's what you're going to be doing, Scorpio. Once you release your expectations of how relationships, connections, whether they're romantic, platonic, professional, it doesn't matter. Once you begin to allow yourself to release your expectations of how those connections are supposed to go, how they're supposed to benefit you personally, you'll begin to serve your purpose, which is a mirror. Now, this is the point in your journey, Scorpio, where you're supposed to be okay with who you are. You're supposed to allow yourself to just embrace yourself as you are, not cultivate an image to show everyone. Okay. So look, she's looking at her reflection, the still waters. Where's the card? Stillness. You're being asked to be a mirror for other people. So if you're a Scorpio that's trying to work on certain traits, like you're tired of people shoehorning you into this role of like you're a stinger, you're going to sting people, and you want to release that stereotype. Well, for some people who will come across your path between now and the new year, you might have to reflect that intense negative behavior for them to understand. So this is really a call for you to exist in your authenticity. Understand that everything about you is in perfect measure. If you sting someone, you probably needed to. Their soul probably brought them to you to experience this at your hands. Now, this is not to excuse or justify unnecessarily ugly behavior. Okay. I don't want this to be misconstrued. This is not giving you a pass for a free for all in the way you treat people. But sometimes when you try and quiet yourself and not have that authentic scorpion type reaction, you're not serving yourself, nor are you serving the greatest good of the person involved. So use elevated levels of discernment, judgment, acute judgment, so you can understand what's an appropriate level for the circumstance that's before you. Okay? And no more punishing yourself for being who you are. No more trying to shame yourself, because there's a huge swinging that's going on. And some Scorpions are like, this is me, I'm badass, I'm savage, I'm a spiritual thug and gangster. And then, no, I don't want to be like that. That's not evolved. And you have to know when to swing and in which direction. This is a lesson in learning how to swing between your polarities. Okay. Card number 43, secrets. I get a very intense feeling. This is not good. I get a very intense feeling that for some Scorpios, there's someone in your life that sees this growth that you're experiencing and they don't like it. And so this is someone who has, for some, earned your trust to some degree. And they want to keep you trapped. This is not for all Scorpios. They want to keep you trapped in the same cycle you've been in. That's what's comfortable for them. And so that's where they want you to stay. And your growth releases you from that cycle. So the energy that I'm getting from this card for some Scorpios, someone's about to betray your trust. Okay. They're about to release some details of your life that you're not wanting other people to know about. And do you have to sting them? I don't know. Do you have to do that? What is it called? Scorpio door slam, whatever. I think that's what it's called. Probably. Okay. Probably. This is a very good time. If this resonates, this is a very good time for you to exercise discernment. Discerning for yourself the level of intensity that is necessary to be included in your response. Okay, your chosen response. We're no longer just going to be a bunch of reactions. We're no longer going to just shut down. We're no longer going to allow ourselves to be dragged back into cycles that are no longer in alignment with our truth. Okay, Scorpio, there's always going to be a proper time and place for every chosen response. And sometimes the appropriate chosen response is to revert back to being that person that cuts others out, to cut them off. Well, if you cut them off in an appropriate time and fashion, it ends that cycle. It takes away their ability to drag you through and bring you back to where you don't want to be. But if you do it unnecessarily, where you cut someone off and there's really no need to cut them off, that might make them spiteful and cause to want that will be the cause to want to reveal your secrets. So really use elevated levels of Archangel Michael says use elevated levels of intervention. What does that mean? What do you mean, intervention? Wow. Scorpio, you have to intervene on your behalf. Okay. For some of you, this goes beyond needing to cut that person off. Um, and I do know Scorpios have been known to just cut people off without explanation. I think for those that are resonating, this has to be done in a different way. Yeah, that person probably does have to be cut off, but I think you're needing to explain to them, like, look, uh, your place in my life is no longer um, mutually beneficial. I was going to say it's no longer relevant. Don't hurt their feelings unnecessarily. It's no longer mutually beneficial, and so we have to part ways. I think for some of you this is a very intense, deep connection, um possibly a relationship, possibly some sort of like close friendship, and this is a person who seems to have gotten past your defenses. That's why I think it's either a close relationship, like a best friend that you're outgrowing, or a relationship, because they seem to have access to very sensitive information about you. And really, if you own your truth, if you hold yourself accountable for the things that you say and do behind closed doors, these little secrets, they can't be weaponized. Okay? They can't be used against you, because if you're willing to admit to it, then what good is it to release it? Nothing. You just look like a chump for being a snitch. Not you, but the person. Okay? So let this kind of sit for a little bit before you go off half cocked. Let it sit for a little bit, see if it truly resonates. And if it does, and you know exactly who this is about, um, sit even longer and allow yourself to figure out what is the most appropriate response and level of intensity. Because we don't want to just start accusing people of betrayal if there's no betrayal that actually occurred. For some, that it's about to occur. Okay, with the Mercury retrograde coming up end of the month, which is very soon, they're about to lose their caca ass mind, and knowing they're losing their grip on you, and it's your own fault. No, I'm joking. It's not your own fault. They've just become very, very possessive of you and your energy. Okay, and so when it gets to that level of possessiveness, clinginess, like almost like an ownership of you, they then become very desperate when they know it's about to end. Okay, whether it's a friendship, business partnership, romantic thing, just know it comes from a place of fear of loss. So maybe that can help you kind of temper a little bit um, the approach that you're going to take when you address this. Okay, if there's something needing to be addressed. So card number 35, a long way home. You are on a journey. Okay, this is not about the destination. Scorpio, you're needing to release the fixation on the end result, the destination. You need to be fully present in your life right now. You have to release your grip on things that have passed and your anxiety on future events that you really cannot control. Okay? There are other factors that you need to include into those future events that will help you to realize you don't have control over those other factors. Therefore, that future event is kind of just up in the air. Now, card number 35, was that just, oh, look at that, mirroring 35 and 35. That's awesome. And then for the other cards, 52, 5 plus 2 is 7. And the other card is 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. There's a lot of mirroring going on. Okay. So card number 35, long way home. Card number 35, wisdom. If you allow yourself to use your wisdom, this is knowledge in action. You've been through a lot of lessons in life, Scorpio. If you allow yourself to begin applying the knowledge that was acquired through living those lessons, the wisdom will be reflected back. So if you feel like it's time to separate from whoever this is that might be revealing secrets, if you use your wisdom in your approach, then their response will contain or should contain some level of wisdom as well. And maybe you guys can separate in a much more amicable way. Okay. Card number 7. This is about you allowing yourself to rise up in your inner under and overstanding of yourself, your journey, people's role in your life, the way they're contributing to your growth. It's time to grow. If you want to grow to your greatest potentiality, carrying dead weight, carrying unnecessary burdens on your heart, your shoulders, your mind, that's not going to help you rise to the greatest level of potentiality. You have to allow yourself to be weightless. At some point in your life, you need to experience that. Scorpio, you carry so much weight from so many things. And I know y'all don't like to hear it, but fucking clinging to that anger from something that happened a long time ago, for those that still do this, it's hurting you more than it's helping you. Okay? If we're going to be very honest, typically, once someone allows a Scorpio under their skin, they're never getting you out. There's no point in you being sour about it. If you guys split ways, there's no point in you being sour about it. That's such an improper, irresponsible use of your time and energy. Because guess what? And this is going to really satisfy the salty scorpion deep inside. Whether you allow yourself to continue to be salty about what they did to you, they're never going to forget you. They're never going to move forward from that. They're always going to keep looking back. They're always going to keep checking in on your status updates, on your profiles, all of that. With or without your participation, they have become addicted to you. And they're never going to get past that. So you don't need to do anything else. You don't need to continue fixating on things that happen and hoping that they get their just karma for hurting you. They're going to continue to hurt. That's a part of the gift of a scorpion's lesson. You're going to continue to replay that over and over and over again. And Scorpio, you don't have to deal with that anymore. You've already gifted them that. Move forward. Okay? Move forward. Allow yourself to fixate on something else, something that's going to bring to fruition a life that you deserve, one that's worthy of the greatness that you are. And this Mercury retrograde, it's in your season. It's all about chill right now. It really, really is. It is going to be something that can serve you, or it can intensify the weight that you carry with you always. Just know, like wearing a weighted vest or ankle weights, you become accustomed to that heaviness, right? That's your reality. That's all you know at this point. So it doesn't seem too heavy. But what happens when you remove those weights? When you remove ankle weights that you've been wearing for a prolonged period, suddenly your step is so much lighter. You have more bounce. You have such a charisma about you that people, energy, everything is drawn to you. Utilize this for your growth. Utilize it for your benefit. And I don't say utilize it for your benefit like, using people as steps to benefit yourself. No. I'm talking about allowing things that come to you naturally to naturally benefit you, to help you to grow, to rise up. Okay? Let's see. Let us get a card from the Scorpio collective energy. Some message from your collective energy, okay? All right. What is going on? All right. Card number 40, Blessing of Al-Hakim. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Cleverness is opinion. Bewilderment is vision. The gift of wisdom, the blessing of Al-Hakim, gurgles up from your heart. Her blessing is evoked by life, like the laughter of a babe joyfully responding to the playful tickle of the mother's hand. Wisdom can make divine sense of anything, especially of that where logic is blinded. How I revere the blessing of Al-Hakim, of wisdom, for she is precious and welcome to me now and always, the dear friend who brings me such peace. Allow yourself to be your best friend. Allow yourself to be your best friend and bring yourself that peace that you're needing. Okay? A blessing of divine wisdom of Al-Hakim is being ministered to your soul, watched over by Rumi himself. This is soul medicine. It's a spiritual gift of healing, prophecy, insight, and the capacity to surrender any impatient claim for what you cannot yet have. As you receive this gift, this blessing, which happens at a soul level, your attitude to life becomes more curious, open, still, and receptive. You no longer have to drive the unfoldment of your desires into form. You rest in assurance that your daily application and effort is enough, and so is your surrender. Mental anguish is soothed, and you're able to accept the unfathomable nature of divinity in its expression of life as life. You become comfortable with the reality that the price of being closer to the divine is a giving up of your need to always understand. And I think this is one of the things that really gets Scorpio deep into their thoughts. They're trying to understand from so many different angles things that you don't necessarily need to understand in order to move forward. I mean, how are you going to cross the street if you're busy trying to examine every single angle of that intersection from one vantage point? I mean, can you really understand the other angles from one vantage point? And if you can't, how do you get to the other vantage points to get a better understanding without first crossing the street? So, Scorpio, it's time for you to release the need to control. That need to control comes from fear, okay? Unrealized fear. When you try and control things externally, it's almost always an indicator that internally, in a very silent sense, you feel as though you have no power, no voice, no say, no control. And maybe that fear, that unfounded fear, comes from you being so deep in your trenches that no one to this point has been able to fully hear what you are attempting to say. You have to come out of the trenches for people to hear. So, this is really about recognizing how very powerful you are in the co created reality you exist within. This is about you now emerging from your own darkness, emerging from your own trenches. And the darkness, the trenches, those are not negative things. Those are the sweet spots you hide the most beautiful things about yourself and your soul. So let that shine. Show them a whole different side of Scorpio. And this is a side that you're choosing, not one that you're being forced into. It's time for you to release as much as you can. The Mercury retrograde within Scorpio is the best time to begin doing this. And who knows, maybe if you release enough, come 2020, it's going to be a beautiful time for you. Beautiful time with a lot of space to manifest the life that you want, the life that you need, the life that you deserve. Okay, long gone is the need to continue adhering to these stereotypes of who you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act. Scorpios do this, no, Scorpios do whatever the hell they want. No one tells a Scorpio what to do. They do what they want when they want. They share what they share when they choose to share it. And you're not going to say or do anything that's going to force them into any other kind of circumstance that they're not willing to be in. And that's just the fact of it. That's just the fact of it. So you don't have to prove anything anymore. That's a fact. If you don't want to share anything, you're not going to. And you can hide it in such a deep darkness that it's not going to be uncovered. It's just not. The only things that will be uncovered are the things that you're releasing that you're allowing to let go of, to make space for more of your abundance. This is your birthright, okay? For more of your abundance in all its forms to enter your life. It's time for you to have reason to smile. Just smile in such a silly way, and people are scratching their heads wondering why you're so happy. Well, because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel free. You deserve to feel light and airy. And you can even do this in your depths, okay? There's no unwritten, unspoken rule of creation that says you can't do that within your depths. But unless you choose to, unless you release the things that are weighing you down and keeping you from doing this from where you're at right now, it's not going to happen. And so it's not something or someone else preventing you from this. It's your refusal, your own refusal to release the very things that are no longer in alignment. Scorpio, just let go, and everything that needs to happen for your benefit will finally be put in motion. And it's time for you to just have all these things that you've been waiting to have. It's really time. So I hope this resonates. For those that it doesn't resonate with, that's fine. Check your other placements. This is Scorpio moon, sun, moon, rising, and Venus, also for the cross watchers. Please do give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I don't think I have time to do another reading right now. I will be back on very soon. Subscribe to my channel so you know when that is. And I'm going to finish the other zodiac signs. So thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.